Today, I'm sitting down with Tiffanie Ortis, Executive Director of Planning and Procurement at Stuller. And Tiffany is one of the recipients of Supply and Demand Chain Executives Women in Supply Chain Award. So Tiffany, thank you for joining us today. Congratulations. How do you feel about winning this award?
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with me. It's a little surreal. I'm humbled, actually. It's awfully exciting to be a part of this venture. I, love being in supply chain and love what we do and the discipline that we have. And it's just very humbling with the individuals that are on my team and who I work with and be recognized in this fashion. So it's fantastic.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your role and your achievements and kind of what brought you to winning this award with us.
Okay. So I am born and raised in the Acadiana region. So from Lafayette, Louisiana. I've been with Stuller for 14 years. Have the ability to lead the planning and procurement area. So I'm executive director of planning and procurement. So anything that somebody needs in the building, whether it's office supplies to our Melly Diamonds, our tools, our packaging, all that comes through the team, as well as doing the production scheduling for our 3 facilities that we have and some partners, and everything in between.
So it sounds like you kind of wear a lot of different hats. And what are some of the challenges that you and your team have faced in the industry, over the past 18 to 24 months?
It has been an 18, 24 months that has had every challenge known to man. So from beginning of the pandemic to moving through it, not knowing what's going to happen with the demand cycle, what amount of inventory do we need to have on the shelf? What is it going to look like with our suppliers and our partners that we have as far as for who's going to remain open and what struggles they're having. We have partners that are all over the world, domestic, in Asia and China and everything else, and what it just meant for us locally. So being able to anticipate the changes that we've seen in the past 24 months and trying to put every plan imaginable. When everything first started happening, we were thinking maybe demand was going to decrease suddenly to 70%. So putting together those plans with the gain system to say, okay, what would that look like for us? What kind of inventory levels would we need to go through? And decisions that we made as a company to be prepared for that. And then just coming out of it where demand went through the roof. And it's just been an exciting challenge through the way, and making sure that we remained good partners with our suppliers and responsive to the needs of our customers, and making sure that we were there for them. And we've seen a little bit of everything. We had business events in the fall, which also caused us to move our forecasting system from an on-prem environment to a cloud environment in a rather short period of time. And so that was exciting as well. Probably not the best time to do it around Christmas season, but we just went for the gusto, and we've had great partners that helped us through that. And so the team, I probably have one of the best teams in the world. They're just phenomenal, and they're perfect at what they do, and they're responsive. And without them, it would have been much more challenging than what we went through.
So you kind of touched on some things I kind of wanted to bring up, in your nomination form, talked about how you and your team were really good at navigating what's considered a perfect storm. It had, supply chain disruptions, but you came out a little bit stronger and resilient. You had, a lot of challenges, especially with dealing with relationships overseas. Knowing that, what's ahead, what is kind of your advice, and what have you been doing to kind of make sure that you establish stronger relationships with suppliers outside of, some of these countries that are being impacted?
Absolutely. So to me, it's about the agility and the relationship building and really relying on your analytics, right? So being able to move from plan A to plan B at the drop of a hat if need to, and anticipating those changes, and knowing that you have those strong relationships, that's really helped us with a lot of our partners, that we've maintained those relationships, as well as how we perceive ourselves with our customers, to make sure that we can always take care of them and be there for them. And the data will tell you everything. You just have to have the patience to look at it. The data is going to tell you the different trends that are coming through. So having an analytic background definitely helps us to anticipate where we need to move and where we need to flex, and building the plans around that. And that's really how we envision it going forward as well. We know that the supply chain is going to have disruptions for probably into first half of next year, right? We deal with container shipments coming out of China, and what does that look like between delays that you see in ports and then the rising costs that we have with that, as well as the industry that we're in is a precious metal industry, right? So the price of gold changes constantly, and the decisions we make at $1,400 gold versus the decisions we make at $1,900 gold might be slightly different. So it's thinking about all those items and just making sure that you ask the right questions and you stay focused and diligent and just relying on the data and being agile.
So from where you sit, what is it like being a woman in what's always been considered a traditionally male-dominated industry?
It's fun. It's exciting. I love what we do. I really do. I love being part of the jewelry industry, which is, primarily women focused, right? There's a lot of women in jewelry, whether it's from the merchandising and the marketing and the sales aspect of everything. And there's a lot of us that are in the supply chain world as well. I think it's a nice balance to be able to do that. It's been fun. It's another voice in the room, right? It's a different way of thinking things. Traditionally, when you think of supply chain and logistics, it's heavy negotiations and very aggressive. And where we are, it's not like that. It's having an opinion and thinking through, having the big thoughtful discussions about what is actually in the best interest of our customers and how do we keep our relationships with our partners and make sure that we're doing everything that we can for our teams that are in the building from the manufacturing perspective, because we are a wholesale jewelry manufacturer at the end of the day. Being visible on the floor helps. You build relationships that way. You earn the trust and of the teams that you're making the decisions that are in their best interest as well. So being responsive to them and making sure that they feel heard as part of the decision-making process. But I've been fortunate. I've had great mentors, men and women, that have helped me throughout the way. And it's just been so exciting to be part of the supply chain for the past 10 years, and especially as stressful as it may have been in the past 24 months, but it's been so fun and energizing to get through it as well.
And this new way of thinking, I love, because as you probably know, our industry is dealing with a big labor shortage. We're short on drivers, we're short on warehouse workers and manufacturing. I mean, it's impacting all facets of our industry. So kind of, with this new way of thinking, what advice do you have? How can we recruit and get more of these younger folks in our industry, specifically women?
I personally don't know why people don't want to be part of the supply chain. It's I get it. It seems scary and intimidating, but it's so fun. I was talking with some team members here, and I love being on the back of the house part of the operations, just being able to have the strategic mindset and seeing what they want to accomplish and how do we help make those dreams and those projects come to life. If you like something challenging that's going to be different every single day, if you like data, if you like analytics, if you like relationship building, that's everything that is the heart and crux of what we do in supply chain. No 2 days are ever the same, right? There's always a different challenge that you're going to have to work through. And having team members that want to take part in that with you. Anyone starting out should absolutely be curious. Ask the questions. Why does it work such a way? Is there a better way to do it? Don't take for granted just because we've done something one way that we should always do it that way. It should absolutely be something that we focus on as well. And anybody who has a curious nature that likes any of the things I listed from data and challenges would have a fantastic and thriving career in supply chain.
So what advice do you have for those starting out in our industry and looking back, what would you tell your younger self even?
So my younger self, I would probably say, get out of your own way, right? So as females, we tend to get in our own heads more about what we cannot do, or reasons why we would not be successful in something, or that we might be intimidated by something. And that's really just us in our heads. It's not truly how it is in the world. Our opinions are valued, our thoughts are respected. What we bring to the table is just a different mindset. And so once you can get out of your own head and allow yourself to naturally be part of those discussions and not be scared to share your opinions, you'll have a thriving career. And the curiosity, I think, is the biggest thing as well. You have to be curious. Is there a better way to do something? Is there a different path that we should take? Or don't just accept that we've always done something a certain way and it should always continue. Those would probably be my two biggest, and just the fact that everyone should take some sort of tour through supply chain in some part of your career, whether in your merchandising or marketing, just understanding the operational aspect of things, of how something gets manufactured and scheduled in the inventory and the logistics of getting it from point A to point B. It just helps put that picture together so much better, in my opinion.
And you're so right on so many aspects, and I love all of that. You know, if so, looking at this award in particular, what does winning this award mean to you and your team over at Stuller?
It's 100% about the team that I have. I would not be able to do anything without them. They're the heart and soul of what we do every day, whether it's my direct team from the planning and production area, or the accounts payable team that I have, the inventory control team, our supply chain compliance team. All of those kind of fit under my umbrella. Without any of them, none of this would be possible. The past 24 months of our business wouldn't have been possible without their dedication and their hard work. And then we're just one part of this great network that we have here. Our manufacturing areas are phenomenal. Without the hard work and perseverance that they've put through in the past 18 months, we wouldn't have been as successful. So even though it may be my name or my recognition at the moment, that it's not just me, it's the 1,200 people under this building that really allow this, and what we've been able to accomplish in the past 24 months. That's what makes it even more meaningful.
Well, thank you, Tiffany, for all that you do. Thank you to your teams for all that you do. The supply chain industry is just a very, very important piece of any puzzle in our life. And so I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Again, I'm with Tiffanie Ortis, Executive Director of Planning and Procurement at Stuller, one of the recipients of Supply and Demand Chain Executives Women in Supply Chain Award. Congratulations again, Tiffany. So excited for you and your team. And to learn more about Tiffany, go to stcexec.com. Thank you very much.